movement,
just wait.
had it not been for the SafeGround movement, quite honestly, all this energy you see would not be here today. Yes, there were people working all over the community and the region, but the SafeGround community said, we want our voices heard. And they've advocated for some very important things. So I want to make sure everybody knows our goal is a comprehensive long-term strategy. SafeGround is just a small part of what we're trying to do. We want preventive, we want emergency, we want transitional, ultimately permanent housing. But when you think about SafeGround, you're talking about 100 people out of 3,000 people that are homeless. So I believe as a community, we should look at SafeGround and try to provide a place for people who can create an environment, and I'm gonna describe it really quickly. So here's what I mean for SafeGround. It's a safe and sustainable outdoor encampment. It's a broad strategy, it's part of a broad strategy. I think we should consider a pilot program over the next 5 years. And if it works, we can keep going forward. If it doesn't work, we can end it. But there's nothing wrong with us looking at SafeGround as a pilot program, in my estimation. And here's the things that I think should be there. Number one, the size. We're talking about 60 to 100 residents. Location, we have not chosen a location yet, but we're looking at locations that are close to the services. We're looking at locations that are not quite as close to services. We're looking at locations in the county. So we're looking all over to find where the best and most suitable location would be. Length of stay, this is very important. People that are a part of SafeGround or Stepping Stone, we're talking about a 12-month period. So that way they have to transition out. You're not gonna stay there forever. We wanna make sure that the services are empowering. Selection, we wanna make sure it's open to everyone, but zero tolerance for drugs and alcohol. And these are rules that they've came up with. They want zero tolerance for drugs and alcohol. They want governance that has a nonprofit that helps with the residential input, so that makes sure everybody can contribute to the governance part of it. Security will be privately funded. Staffing, you'll have the hub and spoke model where you have on-site case managers that connect to off-site services. So again, empowering services. And this is the neat part. The funding, the majority of it's going to be privately funded. So for the taxpayer, it's going to be a value add proposition. It's going to make good sense for the taxpayer to do this. So at the end of the day, I think we as a community should really be looking at this for an option going forward. So that's my commitment to the SafeGround community here in Sacramento. The last thing I want to talk about is a new organization. And this